What is up, everybody? Luke Film Boss here, and today I will be reviewing Hoppers, which is the latest Pixar original, and I'm going to say it right up front. I think you should go see this movie. No ifs, ands, or buts. This was a solid, good time. It's not quite as good as some of the greats of Pixar from back in the day, like Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, but this is a very solid, endearing, sincere Pixar film. I think it's somewhat comparable, not quite as good as WALL-E, but WALL-E I think would be a good quality comparison. But this movie stands on its own. It's a unique, fun film. And for the first half of the movie, it's kind of the typical, original animated film. It introduces the characters. You got Mabel, and it creates this heartfelt bond with her and her grandmother. They go to see the Glade all the time, and absorb nature and calm their senses or whatever. It's good stuff. It gets you started invested in this world and into these characters, and then you have the plot starts to go underway, and the Glade that Mabel is so invested in, that means so much to her sentimentally from the times that she spent with her grandmother there. She wants to save the Glade from getting turned into a highway. And so you got the plot. It starts going, and you start getting onto the shenanigans, and there's some fun stuff in the first half. It's definitely not boring. It's definitely a worthwhile first half. But the second half is when things really kick into gear, and that's where the creativity starts to shine. The first half is sort of formulaic, really good stuff, true to form Pixar storytelling. But the second half, I don't want to spoil anything because it's just so funny. It's so fun and heartfelt. It's just like a Pixar movie again, where we have relatable characters, relatable messages that aren't ham-fisted down your throat, pandering to this progressive nonsense that isn't even real progressiveness. This movie is, in my opinion, really progressive. It's a good movie. It's progressive in the right way. It gives you a nuanced look at, people and the corporate business heads and the small little college students that are trying to save a nature reserve or the Glade. It's good stuff. I don't want to get too deep into this movie. I just want to say it's a solid time, and it gets crazy fun, crazy good in the second half. Well worth the ticket price, in my opinion. It's a very family-friendly movie. Once again, getting back to a time where you didn't have to worry about, is this animated family movie going to be safe for me to take my kids to without them hearing some nonsense that shoves politics and ideologies down their throat. It was a nice breath of fresh air, in my opinion, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Pixar, this was kind of their last chance. Elio was such a big flop. It was such a generic movie. It wasn't even a bad movie. It was just so safe. They kind of realized, we gotta take all this weird nonsense out and just make it a good family film. And in doing so, they lost the creative process with Elio, and it just became this big disaster. Elemental was just kind of like a solid, that did pretty well at the box office. It got decent reviews. It was an all right movie, and then nobody really thought about it after that. It's not going to be an endearing Pixar classic. Lightyear, absolute abomination in every sense of the word. And Turning Red never got to see theaters. It didn't have a theatrical release. It did all right on Disney Plus. Did all right critically. And in my opinion, Turning Red, while it had a lot of quality aspects to it, it was a watchable, entertaining film. It suffered so much on the moral ground, on the messaging front, and Hoppers kind of takes all of those movies and says, nope, we're gonna stop doing all that nonsense and make a good movie. And finally, I'm glad to see a Pixar original, or a Pixar film in general. Inside Out 2 was the first ray of hope. It was such a phenomenal success, and I'm glad that Hoppers is doing well, because it's kind of proving the point. You make a good movie and you're gonna get some rewards out of it most of the time. And in this case, yes, Hopper is reaping the benefits of its creative process. They did it right, finally. They got us back to the basics, while also, like I said, in that second half, including a lot of just bonkers shenanigans that go on. It's so funny. I'll give you one clue. The apex predator that's trying to squish the human. Absolutely hilarious. Now go watch this movie. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Hoppers. I give it an 87% in quality and 85% in enjoyment for an overall score of 86%. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Film Boss. Bye.